So we are on the line this morning with Ginny Schott. She is in Du Bois, and Ginny is with, let me grab the email here because I don't want to get this wrong, Ginny. The Sandy Lick Mountain Dulcimer Players, right?
That's it, right. That's us.
That's it. And you are coming here to Indiana in a very short time, and you're going to teach us how to play the dulcimer?
Yes. It's a very simple instrument to learn how to play. I always tell people if you can count from 1 to 14 and you're willing to practice at least a half hour a night, you too can play a mountain dulcimer. However, it's like anything else. You got to practice, and there are things that you got to learn in order to play the thing. But basically, it's a play-by-number instrument.
Well, okay, with that being the background for our conversation, let's get the details out there. It's going to be on what day that you are here?
Saturday, July 27th.
Mm-hmm. This coming Saturday, then?
Yes, at 2 o'clock, and we'll be at the Northern Appalachian Folk Festival Center on Philadelphia Street. And you'll notice I said Appalachian. If you go anywhere south of the Mason-Dixon line, it is Appalachian, and I have been corrected many times.
Well, see, we used to have the football conference, the high school athletics conference here that was referred to as the Appalachian Conference, but I've always said it as Appalachian too, so I can find myself in that little bit of trouble spot too. So it's okay as long as we know that it's the NAFF headquarters is where you're going to be come Saturday. Now, do folks need to sign up ahead of time?
No, you can just come to where we're going to be offering a little concert, and during the concert we'll be telling people about what the instrument is and demonstrate a little bit how to play it, and we'll be playing a few tunes. So you come to the concert at 2 o'clock, and then we will sign up people who may be interested. We've been kind of beating the bushes trying to find instruments that people could borrow because you need to use the thing, you need to take it home, you need to work with it, and I do have some people that are willing to lend. I have 4 cardboard instruments that I can lend. They're practice instruments, but they sound amazingly good. And in fact, there was a person who won the National Mountain Dulcimer Championship a couple of years ago playing a cardboard dulcimer that he made himself. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, this is an instrument that is synonymous with really the Appalachian, the whole concept of Appalachia, up and down the whole mountain range. This has been one of the things that you hear no matter where you go.
Yeah, and it's background on a lot of stuff. There are people who live in Nashville and will play background for all kinds of different music, whether it be bluegrass, old-timey, or even things like Aerosmith has a guy that plays a mountain dulcimer. Dolly Parton plays a mountain dulcimer. So, you're right. You hear it all over in that Appalachian area.
Well, why is it so appealing to folks?
I think because it's so easy to play. I can, honest to God, have you playing a mountain dulcimer in 5 minutes, you will play a tune. And so, you can't do that with most instruments, but you can with a mountain dulcimer, but you really got to practice if you want to be good.
Mm-hmm. Well, you said you have to be able to count to 14, so I don't know that I could.
Oh, I think you could. Yeah, I do. The good school systems around here, yeah, you could.
You think I could? Of course, you mentioned the cardboard practice models, but they can get to be a very, very intricate, detailed piece of really artwork, can't they?
Oh, yes, they can. Yes. I just had one made during COVID. I said to my husband, I'd really like to have a new dulcimer. He said, go ahead, get it. So I had a special order done, and she put little flowers on it for me. And it's just an attractive little piece because of that. But they sound magnificent. I mean, it's like any other instrument. You use the good wood, you use the good tools, you can create a magnificent instrument,
Yeah. So for folks who have never really taken up an instrument, this is the one to try, huh?
Oh, it really is. It really is. I mean, in fact, that's how I got started with it. For years, I played the piano. I played organ. I took lessons and all these things. I never, ever got comfortable enough to say, okay, I can play in church. No, that wasn't going to happen. I was still too nervous about it. But then I heard a mountain dulcimer at a librarian's conference that I went to, and the lady said, if you want something to play while you are telling stories, you need a very easy instrument to learn. And she said, the mountain dulcimer is it. It's like, ooh. And I got lucky enough that I found somebody in Clarion that was willing to give lessons. I had 6 lessons and a cardboard dulcimer for $35 back in the 1990s, and she got me hooked.
Beautiful. Now tell me about the Sandy Lick Mountain Dulcimer Players. You're a group that gets together and plays?
Yes. We go out. Well, now we have been into 6 different counties. We've been invited to play at different places. We play for senior centers and nursing homes a lot. And then we'll play for, a family reunion, all kinds of crazy things we've been invited to. We've played street festivals, but we don't do real well with street festivals because we don't have any kind of sound system with our instruments. Mm-hmm. You can, of course, but we don't. So it just doesn't work outdoors. But, we'll play for all kinds of things.
So you're going to teach what basically is an introduction to dulcimer class. Yeah. Here in Indiana. And then, of course, you say that, if we then go home and we practice it a lot, we can get better and better and better at it. Mm-hmm. Is there a dulcimer community here in our area? Not much at all, which is probably why Dr. Dougherty, looked to Du Bois to find somebody. It's quite a distance. But little by little, I'm starting to see people popping up here and there. I have about 60 people on my email list, but they aren't all current players, or they just say, hey, leave me on. I don't want to play this thing anymore, but leave me on. I'm interested. So, there's a little bit, but it's slowly coming north, much more down south. I'm sure that you would love to have a really strong and vital dulcimer community, not only where you are, but where we are, and then all throughout the region. Yes, that would be great. We on Saturday there will be myself from Du Bois. There'll be a gal from Reynoldsville, a gal from Kerwinsville, and a gal from Huntington. So we gather in where we can. And what will you play? Oh, we'll be playing all kinds of old-time stuff. We play a lot of stuff from the Deep South, tunes that they sang on back porches down there, because that's how we are taught. Whenever you start off on the mountain dulcimer, you take the easy things that people did sing together, and then little by little, you start adding in other things. So we do have one tune that was tabbed out by a local man by the name of Butch Ross, who, by the way, is one of the ultimate finest dulcimer players literally in the world, and he's from Du Bois, Pennsylvania. How about that? But it's a Beatles tune, so we'll be playing one of those as well. Terrific. Now, let me ask you this, because I've always wondered about this. The folks who take up the dulcimer, we generally have this image of them as being older, and maybe a little bit more rustic, and that's fine to have that image. But do young people get into it? Kids even? Not as much as we would like. More because that's not what you hear in the bands. It's not what you hear on America's Got Talent and all that. Mm-hmm. They're more guitar players and things like that. But boy, there's no reason why they can't be younger people. I have a gal right now, that plays with us, that she is a freshman. Well, she just finished her freshman year in college. I have another one that's 12 years old. And so, I have young people, but not as many as I would like. And so if the young people show up on Saturday, that'd be exciting. Yeah, I bet it would, because especially as you say, it's not a hard instrument to learn how to play, and it seems like so much fun. Yeah, it is. I get people all the time that are, more my age, that say, I always wanted to play a musical instrument. And so they try the mountain dulcimer, and oftentimes they find they like it a great deal. I hear them say, they may not stay with me taking lessons, but
they tell me then, I go home and I sit in my basement room there, and I just play by myself, and I just love the sound of it. That's a sweet thing too.
She's Ginny Schott. She's with the Sandy Lick Mountain Dulcimer Players. She will be here in Indiana on Saturday at the NAFF headquarters on Philadelphia Street, and everybody invited to come and to play. And what time did you say the concert? You're going to start playing at 2?
At 2 o'clock, yes.
And then the event should last about how long?
I suspect the event will last probably no more than an hour, but if people want to hang around and talk and look at the instruments and try them out, that's great.
Terrific. Well, we look forward to your visit here to Indiana, and I'm sure there are going to be some folks that want to learn how to play the mountain dulcimer.
Ginny, I hope so, too.
Ginny, thanks so much for the visit this morning. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Todd.
Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Ginny Schott and the Sandy Lick Mountain Dulcimer Players. There are going to be 4 of them involved in this concert coming up on Saturday at the NAFF Center right here in Indiana. And it's Indiana in the Morning on WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com.